I said I would do this, so here is every BS question asked on Get the Picture. I don't have all the episodes. I'm still missing a few, missing 4, but here's most of them from season 1 at least.
Here's an interesting thought. We've determined that there are 156 people in today's studio audience. Now, as you look around this fine audience, keep in mind that their combined weight is 2,619 pounds, and that the actual floor space in the bleachers is approximately 12,000 feet. All right, now, if each member of our studio audience would enjoy a delicious shake for breakfast, another one for lunch, and then have a sensible dinner for just 30 days, how many quarters are there in a dollar? Yellow team.
4.
4! Correct. Pick it. I'm thinking of a number. Okay, concentrate. Concentrate. You got it? Good. Now, double the number, add 412, divide the sum by the average age of yourself and your partner, and then, instead of giving me the answer you came up with, tell me your first name. Yellow
Aaron.
team. Pardon me?
Aaron.
Judges? Pick a square. Good thing you knew your name. 2 glass containers of equal volume are being filled simultaneously, one with antihistamine tablets and the other with strawberry yoo-hoo. Follow me here. If the first container fills at a rate of 12.6 tablets per second, and the second at a rate of 34.1 ounces per second, and the person filling the container hates his job but can't afford to quit, what is the capital of the U.S.? Orange team.
Washington, D.C.
That is correct. And George Bush loves yoo-hoo. What do you think? Here's the next question. 2 busloads of students set off from Central Junior High on their annual field trip to the landfill. Now, bus A weighs 5,439 pounds and has 43 passengers. Bus B weighs 5,906 pounds, and the drivers just enjoyed a hearty lunch. Now, if the average weight of a student is 82 pounds and the driver of bus B skipped lunch, what do you call the thing that attaches your head to your body? Yellow team.
Your neck.
Pardon me?
Your neck.
Your neck, judges? Yeah, it's your neck. Tie score at $40. Let's say you've decided to borrow a friend's plane and teach yourself to fly. Now, everything's going fine until you suddenly start to lose altitude because the plane is too heavy. There's no cargo or passengers on board, so the only way to survive is to dump out some of the gasoline. Now, if each gallon of jet fuel weighs 10 pounds and the tank holds 327 gallons of fuel and it's 27 miles back to the airport, and you'll need at least 78 gallons of fuel to get back, where does the president live? Orange team.
Washington, D.C.
That is correct. The White House in Washington, D.C. Based on a random sample of Nickelodeon viewers, it has been determined that the median height of Get the Picture viewers is approximately 4 feet 11 and 1/2 inches, with the standard deviation of 4.5 inches. Now, knowing that at about 68% of the viewing population will fall within 3 standard deviations of the mean, and keeping in mind the parameters of a normal distribution in the population, how many years are there in a decade? Yellow team.
100.
That's incorrect. I am not going to reread the whole question, but I'll reread the end. How many years are there in a decade?
50 years.
Sorry, that's incorrect. There are 10 years in a decade. Here's the first question. If an apple orchard has 738 trees, and each tree yields an average of 97 apples, how many days are there in a week? Yellow team.
7.
7, that's correct. Everyone knows that tin cans are really made of aluminum, and that you've got to break a few eggs if you want to make an omelet. However, if you decided to make an aluminum can omelet, and you had 12 dozen eggs to work with, but no can opener, and if you're trying to cut down on your cholesterol level while still enjoying all of your favorite foods, what are gingerbread men made of? Last part of that is, what are gingerbread men made of? What are gingerbread men made of? Gingerbread. I know. Next question. You're on your way to an Elvis impersonator convention, and you've got 12 gallons of gas in your tank. If your car gets 27 miles to the gallon, and you're going 58 miles per hour, how many states are there in the U.S.? Orange team.
50.
That is correct. To earn extra credit for a math class, you've agreed to complete a cost analysis for a multinational manufacturing firm that produces bacon stretchers. Stay with me here. Your analysis reveals a materials cost of $12 per unit and a labor cost of $20 per unit. Overhead costs are about $12,000 per month plus $2 per unit. Now, if the plant normally produces 7,000 bacon stretchers per month, but a work stoppage cuts this to 5,500 units, who is buried in Grant's tomb? Yellow team.
Grant.
Yeah. Biggest square. Frank, Wally, Biff, Gus, and Bobo are all ninth graders at a local trade school. Frank, Gus, and Bobo are friends, but Wally and Bobo have never really gotten along. Now, Gus and Wally are locker partners, but Biff and Frank argue constantly. If you're in charge of the seating arrangement for a formal dinner for these students, and you know that Gus and Bobo will boycott the event if they're not seated properly, what was the color of Washington's white horse? Orange team.
White.
Judges? Yeah. Just getting a little crazy here. Pick a square. As you know, a strict interpretation of Boyle's law suggests that the volume of gas at a constant temperature is inversely proportional to its pressure. Moreover, Charles's law clearly states that the volume of a gas is proportional to its absolute temperature. With this in mind, tell me the name of Homer Simpson's only son. Orange team.
Bart.
Bart is correct. Square.
Nothing to do with the question.
Pick a square. This guy's making faces like, what is Boyle's law? I have no idea. Pick a square. Next question. A bus driver proceeds along a busy city street with 89 passengers on board. At the first stop, 8 get off and 12 more get on. Stay with me here. At the next stop, 27 get on, 13 get off, and 4 more change their minds and get back on. Go figure, I don't know. At the next stop, 6 more passengers get on, and then a stowaway sneaks on through a window. If 17 passengers get off at the next stop, stay with me here, and the driver joins them because he's fed up with the whole thing, what color is that jumpsuit you're wearing? Orange team.
Orange.
Oh, yeah! You guys all know each other's ages? Okay, all right, here we go. Here's a fun trick you can play at parties and impress your friends. Take your age, add it to your partner's age, then double that amount, okay? Now factor in the time of day multiplied by the number of inches in 50 feet of shoreline. With me so far? Okay, good. Now, divide the difference between that sum and the number of degrees in an obtuse angle between 2 rectangles. See how it works? Okay. By the way, how many and a half dozen? Yellow team?
6.
Oh, they were with me all the way. Let's say you're planning your next birthday party. Now, as usual, you order 12 6-foot party subs, 32 extra large pizzas with everything, a 15-gallon tub of guacamole, and several kegs of Jolt Cola. Now, suddenly your guest list goes from 412 to 478. And you've got to figure out if there's enough food. Assuming each guest consumes an average of 6 pounds of food per hour, and guests will be arriving at a rate of 12 every 6 minutes, and assuming the pizzas arrive in 30 minutes or less, name the vice president. Orange team.
Dan Quayle.
You got it. They just write those questions to humor me. He was an architect. He built this set last week. I'm kidding. Let's say you're performing a routine appendectomy when suddenly, out of the blue, your patient goes into ventricular fibrillation. If his blood pressure is 90/60 and there's no response to 30 cc's of epinephrine, how many letters are there in the alphabet? Talk to me, guys. 26. We are crazy on this show. It's 12 sons, each of whom has 4 daughters, as well as 4 daughters, each of whom has 6 sons. If each grandchild needs 2 new pairs of shoes per year, and the boys insist on high tops, which costs $70 more per pair than the girls' shoes, what state are you in right now? Orange team.
Florida.
I was worried. You got it right there. I guess everybody knows that Max Planck was the first person to correctly formulate a mathematical description for thermal emission and absorption from matter, which helped to explain the behavior of atomic particles. Would you like to take a guess?
No.
Okay. Let me reread the question for the yellow team. I guess everybody knows that Max Planck was the first person to correctly formulate a mathematical description for thermal emission and absorption from matter, which helped to explain the behavior of atomic particles in waves. But who's the host of Get the Picture? Yellow team.
Mike O'Malley.
All right! Yeah! Did you hear that? They got it right. Pick a square. If you leave Baltimore at 6 p.m., traveling at a rate of 45 miles per hour, how many are in a baker's dozen? Yellow team.
13.
13 is correct. Average two-door compact is powered by an internal combustion engine with a capacity for about 3,000 cubic centimeters of total compression. Now, assuming it's a 4-cylinder engine with the usual 4-cycle weight-to-compression ratio, what is the name of this show? Yellow team.
Get the Picture.
That is correct. Bring your score to 60. Pick a square. Some
7.
wacky humor on there. After he got out of sha-na-na. Okay, here's the next question. Let Z be an equilateral triangle bisected by a line N. Let Y be an isosceles triangle whose area is inversely proportional to the square of N. Now, if the sum of the sides of Z is divided by the hypotenuse of Y and found to be divisible, listen up, by N, how would you spell the word cat? Yellow team.
C-A-T.
That is correct. As you've probably heard, carbon-14 has a half-life of 5,730 years, plus or minus 40. Now, if a 228-gram artifact is found to contain 0.38 grams of radiocarbon and no other isotopes are present in the artifact, how many ears does your partner have? Orange team.
2.
Judges? 2 is correct. Just wanted the judges to check if indeed she did have 2 ears. You're on a routine flight from Brussels to Hong Kong on government business when the stewardess announces that they forgot to bring a navigator. Nice job. Thinking quickly, you volunteer to help out, only to discover that the plane's position is 63 degrees, 30 minutes northwest of where it should be. If the airspeed of the plane is 682 miles per hour, and the number 2 engine seems to be losing power, and the pilot's name is O'Malley, wow, what a coincidence. Well, what's the last letter of the alphabet? The yellow team.
Z.
Yeah! Z! A container of nitrogen and fluorine at a pressure equal to 2.2 atmospheres is heated to 190 degrees centigrade, then immersed in an ice bath. How many inches to a foot? Just as many as there would be normally, I guess. That had me confused, and I was reading the question. Let x be some real number greater than or equal to the square of the radius of a circle, y. Now, if the square root of x is inversely proportional to the area of y, how many months are there in a year? Orange team. Take a guess.
12.
12 is correct! $20! Good work! Pick a square. You're the pilot of a 747 traveling from New York to London at a speed of 670 miles per hour. Now, if you're encountering a headwind of 37 miles per hour and it's 3,462 air miles from London to New York, and your fuel tank holds 1,025 gallons of jet fuel, and the in-flight movie was Ernest Goes to Camp 2, but the meal was very good, who is Barbara Bush's present husband? Orange team.
George Bush.
You got it. And that was a mouthful. Put your score to 100. Pick a square.
10.
10, please. Okay, it is a thing. Your clue is, it's a thing. Here's the question. Jack and Bill go to a baseball card convention, each with $500. Now, if Jack buys 2 Pete Rose rookie cards for $80 apiece, and Bill buys a Jose Canseco, an Oral Hershiser, and 2 Ricky Hendersons, each for $75, then sells his Nolan Ryan MVP for $120, stay with me here, while Jack blows half his remaining capital on a Don Mattingly bat and 2 Slurpees, how many socks to a pair? Yellow team.
2.
2 is correct.